Lights are out. Oh, they're completely on over here. All the lights are on over here at Palomar on this side of the street. They're completely out on this side of the street. So the east is lit, the west is not. At least with traffic lights. Alright, here we go. It's Sunday. Playoff for the Super Bowl. The Eagles versus the Commanders. 3 o'clock game. I'm glad it's 3 o'clock and not later, because if they win, you know, they'll rush to Broad Street closer to like 6:37, depending on how long the game takes. And if it were a later game, it would have made for a longer night if you're, you know, looking for all the fanfare and stuff should they win. Should they win? They're picked to win. They're picked to win even the Super Bowl, the Philadelphia Eagles. But you never know. You know, it's hard to tell. So, and it is Washington, D.C., and someone who's up in the know of like intel communities or intelligence or whatever, they say that people are always disappointed with Philly because Philly does intel before winning sports professional teams or winning games or whatever. Like this is intel, 1726. Boy, pretty on you. My old address was 626. Now I'm on 17th Street. In a way, I'm prettier than I used to be. I was cute, or I had a really fat period for way back in 1990. I had to lose like, what did I lose, 60 pounds? I was 179 and a half, so. But it was very common for people to be in that position. So at least where I was, you know, Weight Watchers was popular, her place. Okay, so we'll be quiet from here on out, but the light at Sofitel and Head Start Shoes, traffic light on the northwest side and the southwest side, Sansom and 17th, is completely out and completely on the northeast and southeast side. So this would, I was having a conversation with self like yesterday or the day before, because in my mind it's like, I wonder if I would be happier on like closer to the west coast or the west coast. I've been on the East Coast for so long, and you know, I'm normally laid back. I like to be chill or whatever. I do like the snow and everything, so you know, Southeast is kind of out for me in terms of like where to live in the long run, you know, as I get older. But imagine you mentioned to somebody that, you know, how cool would it be to live on the West Coast, and someone was so controlling, they were controlling your life, pulling your puppet strings, you couldn't escape, you're trapped. Whoops, little incident there. Anyway, and you're trying to figure out like, is there a way I can ever live out there? Like, I know a couple very distant family members who I visited once who are they're really missionaries, and they were out in Oxnard. I don't know if they're still there, and they are and aren't easy to communicate with. I think they lead a certain type of life, so I don't really want to, you know, step over their boundaries, because they're, you know, they have a very specific thing that they do, but it's like, you know, what if you feel trapped in Philadelphia, and they went so far as to show, well, on the East Coast everybody's lights are on the West Coast they're not. Like, it could come through that way. That was one theory just now. Or what is it? We won't tell you why they did this. Okay. So anyway, apparently Sansom 1700 block to 800 block, for some reason it's like a lights out, blackout, or I don't know what it means. Electric's out. Sophie Curson is doing a Philadelphia, you know, thing for the playoff game. They are Fort Lauderdale and Philadelphia. Louder. Sounds like Lana Del Rey. Don't know why. So louder. The goat, fake block, which I always point out, Federal Donuts. Goldie, they used to be over by Pulse nightclub, and we have one here. It's like Nightclub Pulse. I'm not sure. It's like kind of the reverse of the one in Orlando, where they had a mass shooting and the highest GoFundMe campaign ever. So fake block here. Calves for Bucky Kavanaugh's. It's a bar, but they chose Calves because they're next to a workout place and a improve your body place, Body Bucky Center. It is right. It's just a Y, not EY. Anyway, but Federal Donuts and Goldie are part of an Israeli soul collective food group with Zahav. It used to be Merkaz. I don't know if Merkaz is still there. There's like 1 or 2 restaurants. I'm like, really? They're part of the same thing? Same group? They have a Schulson collective also. SCHULSON. Excuse me. Anyway, just interesting. You know, Pearl Properties is all up in the house and what I call it the fake block. Just because there's something else going on there, like too much messaging, or it's like odd. So, I don't know. Unless they are mocking. They're kind of mocking the government, because if you notice in the government, a lot of people will have names. Like you'll read, like in the police, there's a guy, his last name is Van, or like a van from Oregon, like Fluid Trucks are from Oregon. Those little vans that you can rent. I discovered this the other day. 49 years of PPN. Oh, they still have 1 more year to make it. A smaller truck to make it down a smaller street. Those are the snow plows. That's right. Back in Mayor Street days, they had these tiny snow plows that could go down alleyways because people complained that the snow wasn't being picked up. A-list, Gold Star, Skin and Lash Lounge. Propane tank here. So, 2020, they killed my dad in 2020, so it's like hindsight is 2020. Roxy's closed. Were they ever open? Oh, right. Roxy used to have, or no, is that the other one? One of these had imagery in it of like a girl dead on the ground, or maybe it's the Raven. I don't know. They're all sort of vintage-y. So, Adrian Theater, Objection, unscripted courtroom comedy, and role play. So, Helium Comedy. Maria Bamford came out here. I often talk about that block on Sansom, the fake one that this is kind of fake-ish also. It's all supposed to be educational messaging. I guess there's a guitar shop here. But you would have to kind of be in the know, I guess. Nick Grooming, if you want to get groomed. By the way, check out Brody That Dude on Facebook. I don't know if he put it on his YouTube channel, but Brody That Dude, the guy with a giant, golden doodle, has a Neo Matrix video. He's like got scissors in his hands, the glasses. He's talking to Brody saying, pick the blue ball and you get a shave. Everything's really quick. You're done and you move on. Take the red ball. We trim